Okay, now we're good. If you take a look at professionals on LinkedIn, most of them may not have a degree that's related to their work. However, it's the experience that they have had that's led them to that career. So definitely check out their careers. You can see what they did before and after college. Um, your resume will be made up of so much more than just what you study. So some jobs do require a specific degree, and those are typically more technical, like nursing, engineering, architecture, and many others. So if you do have a career in mind, just be sure that you're researching how to get to that career and see if you need to follow a specific major or path for it. Whether you have a career goal or not, college is a great time to explore and gain experience in your areas of interest. Okay, before we begin this section, I would like you all to not chat anything in just yet. We'll be doing a chat waterfall activity. So I'll ask the question on this slide in a second and have you all type it out, but do not hit send until I say so. This way, all the responses can come through at the same time, like a waterfall. All right, so the question is, what percentage of college students do you think change their major at least once? So on three, you can all hit enter. I'll count down a little slow so you all can type it in. One, two, three. Yay, it worked. Okay, cool. Look at all these different answers. Some highs, some lows, some 50%. Ooh, 98%. Very, very high. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm glad that worked. And thank you all so much for chatting in your answer. So the answer to this prompt is actually 50%. 50% of college students change their major at least once, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. That is a lot of students, even though it's not as high as some of you have put, that is still a lot. It actually happened pretty early on for me as well. I intended to go into college as a biochemistry major, but chemistry did not click with me so well during my first semester. So after my first year, I ended up switching to English. I really enjoyed analyzing text in some of my first year classes. Um, and so this major really allowed me to do so in various ways. I was able to analyze film, and a lot of the things in film related to reading text, which was cool. My initial career was also to be a pharmacist, which is why I chose biochemistry. But soon after changing my major, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And that was okay. I took on different jobs, internships, a bunch of other opportunities at college, and eventually I found my way to college access. Um, this is to say, it's totally normal to change your major, your career, or both throughout your life. Experiences will continue to shape you and what you want to do with your future. You can ask your parents, you can ask other adults around you where they started and kind of see where they ended up. It's typically pretty easy to change your major within your first 2 years of college. Most of the classes that you'll be taking go towards your general education, and by your junior year, and senior year, you take more specific major classes that go towards your degree. By year three, you do want to stick with your major so that you can finish your degree within 4 years. But it's not the end of the world if you change your mind. It might just cost a little more if you take a little longer to graduate. You want to definitely get a grasp of what you want to do so it doesn't cost more to finish your degree. Myth number three. I can't change my mind in college. Um, oh, sorry. I just did this. It was a little GIF that popped up. Okay. Moving on, we'll be talking about return on investment. So we just talked about how college is a time for self-discovery and growth, and many people feel like it was one of the most important and formative periods in their lives. However, even if you could go to school for free, going to college is also an investment of time and energy. Usually, it's also a financial investment, and in this section, we're going to talk more about how to maximize what you get back from that investment. So what is return on investment? Could I get someone to come off mute and read this definition? Awesome. Fedora, go ahead.
Okay, return on investments definition: a calculation of the monetary value of an investment versus its cost.
Thank you so much. So here we are defining a financial investment. However, to be clear, value and cost aren't only monetary, although many people only think about ROI financially. It 100% depends on your priorities. So let's lean into looking at the financial side of things for a minute. If we follow through on thinking about this in terms of making as much money as possible, here are some ways to set yourself up for success. Research. I cannot stress enough how important it is to put some time into learning more about your interests and what path you'd want to take. It's okay not to know exactly what you want, but it'll be a good idea to know what you enjoy and like doing. For example, if you enjoy reading and helping others, there are careers that you can pursue to help others that may not require a specific degree. So you can pursue your interest in reading while gaining experience elsewhere in a career that you'd like. There are loads of, oh, apologies. Um, there are loads of fields that are growing now, especially with AI booming and a lot of things growing virtually. So this could be a good starting point for you if money is a priority for you. So definitely researching what careers are growing. And then I had questions somewhere. Sorry, my notes are a little mixed up. Okay, so a question for you all. Feel free to chat it in. What are some careers that you think are um sorry, my notes were a little off. Okay, so what are some careers that you think are high paying? Oh, I read the wrong question. What are some careers that you think are in demand? Or did I not? My notes are mixed up. I am a little confused. But no, you all are doing great. Finance, medicine, doctor, software engineering, business owning. Yeah, definitely. Being a CEO, for sure. Surgeon, entrepreneurship, computer science. Yeah, definitely. Y'all listed a lot of STEM careers. Doctor, software engineering, computer science. Definitely. Those are definitely high paying jobs and also jobs in demand. Definitely doctors for sure. Um, So another way to leverage your college degree is to aim for a high-paying career. But remember that you'd want to pursue something that you're good at. So for example, I am horrible at STEM, so it wouldn't make too much sense for me to pursue a career in self-research just because I want to help people. It can be hard to complete a degree that you aren't passionate about. Even after trying every method I could to keep up and stay on top of my chemistry class, it proved more challenging than it was worth, which is why I switched my major and trajectory at some point. But definitely consider like what high paying means to you. Is that six figures? What's enough to sustain your living style? What income do you want to reach? Ask yourself these questions and do some research. Although certain fields may be growing and in demand, there may be a lot of competition. So it could be hard to find a job after you've completed your degree. So definitely do some research and look at the growth and the trajectory for each jobs and career that you're interested in. So, okay. If making a lot of money or having job security is important to you, these may be important things to look into. Don't feel like you should already know these things though. Depending on your priorities, they are things to just think about. So definitely take some time to do some research. So what if money isn't your number one priority? So these are some other ways to think about return on investment based on the other investments that people have made during college. You'll be investing your time. 2 to 4 years in college to earn an associate's or bachelor's degree is time. You'll be investing your energy. Not only will you be putting in effort into completing your degree, but may also take on a part-time job, do an internship, volunteer, join clubs, play sports, and loads of other things. You'll want to have fun too, so balancing everything to have a fun and fulfilling experience will take some energy. You're investing in your future, ultimately, so you're setting yourself up for to have a life that you'll enjoy, and this is so much more than just a financial investment. If you are not trying to make as much money as possible, or even if you are, here are three more ways that you can get the most out of your college degree. We'll dive deeper into these in a few, but before that, let's do a poll. I will. Oh, awesome. Thanks, George. So between the three things that are listed here and the two that we talked about previously, what are your priorities when you think about how you want to get the most out of college? I believe, yeah, you can select multiple if there are multiple things. That's totally fine as well. When I was in college, it was definitely a high-paying job, but also getting mentally ready to complete college because I just finished high school. It's a lot of school already. 4 more years is also a lot. So definitely just finding the right school for me to complete my degree was important. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm seeing a lot of minimize cost and loans, aim for a high-paying job, and building a strong resume and network while in college. Awesome. All of these are super important. I love that you all have an idea of what your priorities are. So definitely keep that in mind as you are researching careers, majors, and even colleges. Awesome. Thank you all. All right, so now we will talk about the three things that are listed here. So minimizing cost and loans. Um, one important, oh, sorry. One important way to think about maximizing ROI is spending less money. If you're paying less, then you'd be increasing your financial ROI. You've probably heard people talk about college loans. It's important to be strategic about how much in loans you take. The less you can take out for college, the better the benefits of your investment in the long run. A big way to do that is to minimize the cost of college, and here are some strategies for doing that. Attend a college that has a low sticker price. So most in-state schools can have lower sticker price starting at community college than transferring. Um, Applying to schools that tend to provide good financial aid. A lot of private schools have large endowments, they can give more to their students. And applying to tons of scholarships. There are so many out there. There are so many that goes unclaimed every year. So just applying yourself, apply to as many as you can. There is no magic number of scholarships you should apply to. You should be applying to as many as you can. So we'll definitely be talking more about this in the list building workshop in the future. So you can be sure that you are including some financial safety schools on your college list. So definitely look forward to that workshop. We'll talk more about that later. Second, building a strong resume and network. So when you leave college, employers won't just be hiring you for your major alone. They're hiring you for other experience that you gained while in college. So think about how you'd want to build up your resume while you're in college. What internships can you take on? What experiences would you need for your career of interest? And what ways can you stand out amongst other applicants? Some of the things that you can do are major related work or internships, support a professor who's doing research, or take on a leadership role on campus. Networking will definitely help you connect with potential employers and learn about job openings both while you're in school and afterwards. I know networking can be intimidating, but there are so many ways that you can approach building a strong network. And college creates some of the best opportunities for this. It's really just about getting to know people, making genuine connections, and staying in contact. In college, my English department hosted networking events, and those were great opportunities for me to connect with my professors in a different way and alumni. They would join us during these events. Networking is also about growing your network of support and the number of people who want to see you succeed. So definitely keep that in mind as you are building your network. A suggestion here is to get to know your professors. The more they know about you, the more opportunities they could present if the time comes. For example, a professor might know someone who's in your interested career or your professor themselves may be doing some research or side project and they need an intern. Another great way to network is using your alumni network, connecting with staff on campus, or even gaining a mentor through the adults you've encountered in life. The more people you connect with, the more doors that may open. All right, so last point, getting ready to finish college. Um, our last point is on getting the most out of your college degree. And to do that is finishing strong. This is about mental preparation and choosing to apply to colleges that truly fit you. Finding a school that will not only help you achieve your goal, but foster your growth in a way that fits you is the key to success. So just a quick pulse check. Can I get a few of you to come off mute or just to chat in one thing that will help you thrive in school and support you in finishing college? Yeah, go ahead, Fedora.
So the question was, one thing that'll help you thrive in high school, right?
Yes. Oh no,
Um,
in college. In college.
in college, I feel like one thing that will help me thrive is like being constantly reminded that it's gonna be worth it at the end because like when you have positive thoughts in your mind, it's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be done soon. I'm gonna live the life I want to live. You feel me? And people already like went through my phase, so it's not something impossible. So I will be able to do it as well.
Yeah, definitely manifesting the good vibes, the positive outcome, especially when you are having a hard time in college, struggling with classes or anything like that. Definitely. Thank you for sharing. Um, Snader, sorry if I am pronouncing your name wrong. I think the people that you meet would really play a big factor in helping you thrive in college. Yeah, definitely making friends. I have my lifelong friends that I've met in college. But yeah, they definitely can boost you up. Just having that positive environment. Supportive faculty and those who enjoy teaching. Yeah, definitely. You don't want a professor that hates his job and is just there to get the paycheck. You definitely want someone who's passionate about what they're teaching, and can help you during office hours. Cool. Anyone else before we move on?
Excuse me. I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had a question about the scholarship. So I'm in my junior year, so I was wondering if I should apply for scholarships now or wait till senior year.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great question. I don't know of a lot of scholarships for juniors, but if you do find any, definitely apply to them. One scholarship I do know is, what is it called? Big Future Scholarships. So this is something that you all can do now as a junior. It is a larger scholarship where anyone can apply to. So your chances of winning are a little less, but definitely still something to try and give out. I'm pretty sure when I was a coach for Let's Go Already, I feel like one of my students won one of the $500 scholarships. So definitely, take a chance and give this one a try. So the grand prize is $40,000, but they do have $500 micro scholarships, and all you need to do is essentially what you are doing now to prepare to apply. Um, sorry, now I have to sign in. But some of the things are like building your college list, taking the SATs, um, using this website, and other things like that. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you so much.
But definitely, yeah, of course, definitely ask your coach. They might know of some, and they can share where they can help you find some. Awesome. Any other questions or anyone want to answer the prompt? Okay, cool. Um, all right, so getting back into it, when you start college, you're essentially signing up for a 4-year loan. Some of you may not have to take out any loans, but essentially, if you think about it that way, just know that if you drop out, don't do well, or take longer than you need to, you may be hurting your ROI because you might need to take out more loans or spend more money to complete your degree. So definitely want to finish college strong. It's also about not spending more per year on school that than you can sustain, which is why we talked about having financial safety schools. Um, and yes, because spending money or taking out loans but not earning a degree is something that you want to avoid if possible. You don't want to just survive in college, you also want to thrive. So definitely consider what schools are a good fit for you and also consider financial implications of whatever schools you're choosing as well. So next, we'll be moving into a break, but before we do, I just want to be clear on a couple of things. You definitely do not need to do all the things that will bring you a high return on investment, like maximizing future earnings, aiming for job stability, minimizing school costs, building a strong resume and network. You can just decide on a few of these and work hard to make those your priority. So we will take a quick 5-minute break. We'll come back and talk about how to get clearer and clearer on your major and career path for those of you who aren't sure, and how to leverage college in service of your goals for those of you who do know what you want to study and do professionally. So we'll take a 5-minute break and I will see you all back at 6:41. All right, about a minute left for breaks as you all are coming back. Feel free to drop in a thumbs up or an emoji that you're feeling about today or this week. I know I'm definitely feeling happy because the weather is getting a lot warmer. I do not like the cold. I get cold very easily, and I don't ever want to leave my bed when it's cold. Ah, nice. It's a very cute emoji. Awesome. All right, let's see. Okay, cool. It is 6:41, so I'll get started again. Thank you all for dropping emojis. Feel free to continue dropping emojis, how you're feeling and how things are going. But I will be moving on to this, speaking more on deciding on a major and career path. So before our break, we talked a lot about the many different ways that you can make the most of your time in college and setting yourself up for success in the future, financially and otherwise. But now we'll turn our attention towards how you can move forward, whether or not you have decided on a future major or career. Of course, as we mentioned before, there are a few careers that do require certain degrees. So if any of those are of interest to you, you'll want to consider that and be sure to research. But the vast majority of careers don't work that way. A major does not have to be something that dictates the rest of your life, but rather what subject or area of interest that you'd want to pursue and become a master of. At the end of the day, your degree will have value. Take a minute to chat in what careers you think someone with a communications degree could get into. All right, I'm seeing public speaking, marketing, journalism. Awesome. A professor for sure. What are some other careers? A teacher, definitely. Awesome. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, a news anchor, education. Yeah, these are all great. You all have listed those help caller thingies. Help callers. I'm customer service kind of area. Definitely. Business for sure. Yeah. These are definitely great careers that you can definitely get into with a communications degree. Some other ones, law is also one. Some other ones could be more specific. Event manager, social media, or PR specialist. Some that you may not think could be human resources or politics. Yeah, y'all are definitely mentioning great ones in there. So this is really just a way to show y'all that there are multiple different careers for each major, and it's not always singular. It's not like you become a communications major and you need a communications job right afterwards, and that's all you can go. There's different avenues for each major. Um, Even with nursing, you can specialize in different areas. You do need to follow a nursing path, but you can specialize in different areas in nursing, like pediatrics, anesthesias, and I can never say that word, or a neuroscience nurse. There's different avenues for a lot of careers. Um, and a major won't narrow your options. Instead, it'll help you just focus your interest and your knowledge. So, now we'll be looking into the nitty-gritty of what it looks like to choose a major. So, when you're applying to college, the application may ask you to pick an intended major, and there's a few ways you can go about this. If you know your career, then look into what it takes to get there, because certain careers only require a certificate, um, or some short-term schooling or training. And so for this, trade schools and community colleges can be a great option. Oftentimes, you'll find career paths at community colleges or trade schools like registered nurses, phlebotomists, mechanics, or welding. Um, Another way to declare your major is if you know your major, then definitely just apply to a school with your specific major in mind. And then lastly, you can also just go in undecided if you have no idea. That's totally fine. And you can select a major later on. Once you're in college, it is usually pretty easy to change your major, especially early on, unless you want to switch into a competitive major. So if you're going in undecided and want to go to nursing, that might be a little challenging because it's a competitive major and there's certain requirements that you need to finish the degree. But when you are selecting your intended major, most colleges won't take this as binding unless they are asking you to apply to a specific, usually competitive major in your application, like nursing. In which case, you'll want to be sure that's what you want because it will be harder to get into that program. Okay, so in this section, we're going to talk about next steps if you're not sure what you want to major in and or do professionally. However, there are going to be some gems here, even for those of you who already do know what you want to do. But before we get into it, can I get a show of hands? Who here has ever felt like they were supposed to know what they are doing in life? Definitely me. I've had many of those moments, even now. Awesome, yeah, I'm seeing some other hands. Cool. I'm not the only one. Thank you all. So we all feel that pressure at different points in our lives, and we pretty much all have moments of uncertainty. And it's a lot to think about and a lot to decide on, but know that as you progress in life, it's okay for things to change and it's okay for things to be uncertain. After I graduated college, I had no idea what I was going to do. I applied to one job. It's just hope for the best, which is not an advice I would ever offer up. It was not a great feeling. It was challenging, but I did not let that stop me from pushing through and moving forward. It's okay to be in these moments, but just remember to continue forward. Most people go through cycles of clarity regarding their career and other aspirations throughout their lives. The truth is, what you want for yourself in some areas of life will probably change multiple times as you gain more experience, as you um, overcome lots of things. Certain perspectives and interests will change. So don't feel like you need to make a forever decision. Just work on making one that you feel pretty good about for now. And let's just normalize periods of uncertainty. It's part of being human. Honestly, now I'm still uncertain of what I want to do in the future, but I know that I enjoy what I am doing now. And there's definitely ways for me to grow academically with like grad school in the future and professionally. There's loads of professional development opportunities. And, uncertainty is just a reminder that it's a good time for us to step into an observation exploration mode. This is a process which we can start now, but will definitely continue as college students. So you all have already been reflecting. So some of you may just join LGR or have missed these, and that's okay. Let your coach know via text if you'd like to see the previous workshop recordings, and they can send you the link. But the texts and workshops that your coach and facilitator have been sharing with you support you in clarifying what you want and where you're headed. So, for example, our first workshop, the Why College workshop, asks you to think through your personal motivations, and the second workshop, Let's Get College Ready, and the brag sheet that was shared through text, and I believe also during the workshop, started to orient you towards your passions and extracurriculars. So your facilitators and coaches will keep prompting you with different exercises so that you can feel confident that you are giving it the thought that you deserve. Oh, sorry. The moderator will chat. Okay, the moderator chatted in the brag sheet just in case anyone missed it before. If you follow along with the workshops and texts, we'll continue to keep supporting you as you are clarifying what you want. Yeah, go ahead. What's your question? Feel free to drop in your question or come off mute at any point. That is a great question. Absolutely. Feel free to show it to your counselor. Share it with your friends. Yeah, definitely utilize it however you'd want. It's for you. So great question. Awesome. Anyone else have any questions? Feel free to just drop it in the chat. Thanks for asking that, Shiza. All right. So here are a bunch of different ways that you can explore your interests more deeply and figure out which ones you might want to study. Even if you do know what you want to study or do professionally, these are great ways to confirm that you're on the right path, or to explore subgenres of those areas. Because you might want to be a doctor, but there's different types of doctors, or there's even nurses or technical things in the medical field that you could do. So doing your research can definitely open your eyes. So, firstly, there is the Princeton Review's Major Search. This is a great way to get started with exploring your major options. We'll be doing activity on this towards the end, so I'll talk a little bit more about it later. Second, researching what the program entails for your interested majors. This can give you insight on what the degree will consist of, what classes you'll take, what the goal is for that major, and some colleges offer suggested careers for that major at their school based on what alumni have pursued. A day in the life videos, these are always great to get real perspectives on student and professionals' lives. Seeing things on TV or hearing about them is one thing, but seeing a day-to-day example can really help you determine what you'd want for yourself. I am a victim of this. I used to watch Grey's Anatomy with my whole heart, and I wanted to be a doctor or an intern on there. And going to college, I learned that it's a challenging path, and so I wish I had done a little more research to learn more about medical fields. Um, and then lastly, like I mentioned before, looking into future earnings or job security can help you decide on a career path, but it can also point you in the direction of potential majors. If you don't know what you want to study yet, you may want to really invest in using these strategies. Why? Because there are 3,982 degree-granting post-secondary institutions in the US, which is a lot of schools to filter through for your list. And narrowing down your majors of interest can really help you fine-tune your search. All right, so into the activity, we will take 3 minutes to use the Princeton Review's major search tool that the moderator George has put into the chat. If you know of a major that you might be interested in, use the search bar. If you want to explore more generally, you can use the browse by category. And yeah, so take 3 minutes to look through that. I will kind of share. Okay, cool, you can see it. So let's see. I was an English major. So these are some of the majors that I can pursue if I really like reading or writing, or English literature. And then so if I clicked on one of these, let's say English, 'cause that's what I went for. If you look on the right-hand side, it'll give you a sample curriculum. So what kind of classes this major would take, ways that you can prepare in high school. And then it also suggests graduate programs and careers if you are interested in what careers you can follow. Yeah, so take 3 minutes to do this. So at 6:57, I will pop back in and check in on y'all. All right, as you are coming back, if anyone found anything interesting, or just found things in general that you like, feel free to drop a thumbs up in the chat or share what you found that was interesting. I definitely did not know that majors can go to any careers when I was in high school. So when I went to college, my one friend who was an English major went to law school right afterwards, and that surprised me. But then it made sense afterwards. So definitely researching is super important and helpful. Let's see. Someone said there were a variety of majors to choose from. Yeah, definitely. And it's even more when you research colleges and go on their specific websites. Let's see. I found it interesting that you can change your major because I didn't know that you can change it. Yeah, definitely. You can definitely change your major. I know people have changed their major like 3, 4 times before deciding on one thing. Um, yeah. Uh, Definitely do it within your first 2 years. Or go in undecided and take some classes you might be interested in. It shows you different colleges and amount. That was really fascinating. Yeah, definitely. Civil engineering, environmental science are my top choices so far. Also didn't know we had 2 years before we can decide on a major. Yeah, I mean, if you know your major now, you can definitely go right into college pursuing that major. But if you aren't sure, most colleges might make you wait until your second year to decide. Most colleges are all for it if you want to go in right away. So yeah, definitely. Cool. Thank you all for sharing. Continue to share with each other in the chat. I will move on. So this is an example of a day in the life video that I mentioned before. I really encourage you all to spend some time looking at different day in the life videos on your own time. I think they're super helpful. This one was actually from TikTok, so if you have TikTok, feel free to search it. I'm sure there's a lot on there. But I do know of some YouTubers who have vlogs and stuff of this too.
Hello, my name is Jeremiah and I'm a first year at Quinnipiac. Starting my day, I wake up at 7 o'clock and get ready to head to the...
Can you all hear the video? Okay, cool. I will start it back, sorry.
Hello, my name is Jeremiah and I'm a first year at Quinnipiac. Starting my day, I wake up at 7 o'clock and get ready to head to the College of Arts and Sciences for my biostatistics class, learning classical methods with Professor Rothman. Then I head to Tater Hall for some chemistry with Professor Harper, learning about molality. During my hour break, I head to Cafe Q to get some food and then the library to study. My next class at Tater Hall is Chem Lab with Professor Madison doing a titration lab. I get in a good workout at the rec center, I grab some food, and then headed back to my dorm for a first year event. I go to the dance studio for a Black Student Union dance rehearsal, then it's off with my friends to rehearsal with the Q Legends, which is the only a cappella group on campus. Then I call it a day.
All right. Okay, so now we will get into next steps for those of you who do know what you want to do. These will be great tips for those of you who don't know as well. So, knowing your major is a great start. And it's okay if you don't know your career. So, if you know your major, definitely be sure to confirm that the major aligns with your strengths and see if this major in college actually appeals to you. Each major may be different at each college. They may focus on different aspects of that field or have concentrations for specific interests. So regarding this, I should have considered my strengths in STEM. I was not great at chemistry or biology in high school, so I should have known it was probably not going to go too well once I went to college. So yeah, definitely consider your strengths. Once you're set on a major, feel free to do a quick Google search of careers for blank majors, and see what comes up. You can use this as a starting point to research careers. Be sure to look at what it takes to get to that career. Some careers may require certification, training, or other things before starting. Using LinkedIn or even Indeed could also give you an idea on what an entry-level position could look like in this field and what's required. For example, I did not know that for pilots, you typically don't need a bachelor's degree, and you mostly need hours in flying and certain certifications. Um, and then lastly, when looking at schools and or programs, ask yourself, does this school describe my major in a way that sounds exciting to me? Does this school have any major related special opportunities like research, internships, or even exchange programs? The college I went to had a study abroad program and only certain majors can go. I believe it was some of our STEM majors and English majors or humanity majors. And a lot of other majors could not go abroad because of how extensive their degrees were. So definitely look into that. Another major or school related opportunity that you can look into is whether they offer co-ops, which are paid full-time positions, or dual degrees options where you can earn your bachelor's and master's degrees at the same time. You can feel free to ask your coaches if you want to explore more of these options. There are loads of different ways to pursue your degree, and depending on the path you choose, you could find a school that helps you achieve your goal quicker, like a 3+2 program to get your master's degree, or a school that incorporates internships into its degree completion, which are co-op schools. I'm from Philadelphia, so I know Drexel University has co-op opportunities. So yeah, definitely do your research if you want to gain experience or want to finish 2 degrees in one a little quicker. All right, so what if you do know your career, but not so sure about your major? Knowing a career is just as great as just knowing your major. You can kind of work backwards here. You want to get clearer on what's required for that degree. Sorry, required for that career. So Googling top majors for your interested career is a good starting point. Similarly, though, you do want to confirm that this is the path that you want to take. So doing more research into the career and what a day today can look like will give you more insight. Connecting with professionals in the field, job shadowing, doing internships, or just networking is another great way to get insight. If your career doesn't require a specific major, then remember it's okay to choose a major simply because you enjoy it. Just be sure to beef up your resume with relevant experiences. Refer back to what we talked about earlier around building a strong resume and network. Also, remember it's okay to change your mind. Could I get someone to read this quote? Oh, sorry. Before that, Rocco, what's your question?
I don't know if you can hear me, but
Yes.
So I was just wondering if you guys like recommend summer programs for like juniors.
Yeah, definitely. If you have the opportunity and you can do something in the summer, definitely feel free to. Summer programs are great. Summer jobs, what is it called? Personal projects. Definitely for like computer science. If you like build something or develop something or create something, if you have a business, whatever it is, definitely if you can do something in the summer or throughout your time in high school overall, it's definitely great and recommended. But if you can't and you don't have time, you can find other ways to beef up your application and extracurriculars. Great question. Any other questions? Could I get someone to come off mute and read this? Ooh, Halia?
All right. So it says college is a time of exploration and getting to know more about yourself. Start refraining your interests now through the first 2 years of college, and you'll come out with lots of clarity.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so definitely college is your time to explore. If you take the time now and during your first 2 years of college to really refine your interests, you'll come out with a lot of clarity to help you decide what's next, what's after college. I wish I took the time to do some research. I did not. So definitely take your time now, take your time during college to really explore what you are interested in and what you want to do in the future. All right. So we just talked about many ideas for how you can move forward in exploring, deciding upon, or confirming that the majors and careers that you are interested. Oh, sorry. Or confirming what majors and careers that you're interested in, or you could be interested in. But now we'll kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about how you might want to share those interests and other elements of who you are through your personal statement and in other elements of your college application. This absolutely doesn't mean needing to have decided on anything or pretending like you're sure of your future if you're not, but it is a chance to show not only who you are, but also your self-awareness and intentions for exploring or taking advantage of opportunities that the school offers. So admissions teams can know that you are taking your future seriously. So remember that your personal statement is your story. It's what you're choosing to tell colleges about who you are. This reflection will support you in figuring out what you might want to write about in your own personal statement and the supplemental essays that you write for colleges. It might also inform any extracurriculars that you choose. It also might inform what extracurriculars that you choose to invest more time in now. So your personal statement is an important part of your application. So you'd want to start thinking this through so your application can stand out. It will effectively introduce you. It will tell a consistent story that paints a clearer picture, and it'll share who you are. Oh, sorry. And sharing who you are should feel empowering. So one way to say kind of what a personal narrative is that it's a cohesive picture that you will be painting throughout your application. So your main application will be a portion of you, and then your personal statement will kind of have the overall picture. So here's some things to include in a personal narrative. Altogether, these pieces will start to form your narrative, the story about who you are that you want to share with admissions teams. In the brag sheet that you started to think about, in the brag sheet, you started to think about your narrative, what makes you unique, and some of the other things that are listed here. If you completed that and you have access to it, you might want to pull that back up. If you haven't done the brag sheet, it's something I suggest doing after the workshop, especially if this feels intimidating. Definitely writing about yourself and bragging about yourself can be scary, but that's okay. There are prompting questions and ways to brainstorm and flesh this out. Definitely feel free to reach out to your coach or your facilitator as well. But we will take a few minutes here for you all to take some time and reflect. Think about what are the main themes of your narrative. I recommend writing out 4 to 6 bullet points on what you want the themes of your narrative to be. This will likely evolve as you continue to prepare for college applications, but this will give you a starting point to build on. And then just remember, you get to decide what you want to share about yourself and your life. And sharing about yourself should feel empowering. Any feelings of intimidation might, if any feelings of intimidation might come up for you, just remember that's okay. As you continue to think about this, your facilitators and coaches are here to support you, so be sure to reach out. No matter what, you all have a unique story to tell. So take a minute to jot down some bullet points on what you want the themes of your narrative to be. I will give you all 4 minutes, so at 7:15 we will come back. And if anyone has any questions in the meantime, you can also throw it in the chat. All right, just about a minute left. As you wrap up your last bullet point, or your idea at the moment. I hope you all were able to write down some ideas, and I hope that you continue to do this exercise even after this workshop. Definitely consider what you want your personal narrative to be, and if you haven't already, feel free to get started on writing your personal statement. You can reach out to your coaches, facilitators, or even me if you have any questions or if you're stuck on anything. All right, so in closing, in this workshop, we talked about a lot of different elements, myth busting major and career concerns, what return on investment might look like for you, deciding on a major and/or career path, and next steps, and finally your personal narrative. So feel free to revisit the slides or recording. This will be sent out on Friday over text. And if you're feeling stuck, just let your coach or facilitators know. I know we discussed a lot, so definitely revisit these slides, let the information soak in, and reach out to us if you have any questions. Your feedback will really help us. This is a new workshop topic, which students let us know that they wanted to hear about. So we want to learn what was helpful and what was not. The moderator has chatted in the feedback form, so please take a few minutes to do that.